Once again, we join the Apostle John as we study Revelation chapter 12, beginning with verse 1.
Rev 12, 1-2, KJV. Verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. 2, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered.
Welcome, everyone. Having heard Revelation 12, verses 1 and 2, John's vision was literal for him, and he was to relate it to others as he saw it. However, the symbolism and imagery speak volumes to those who study Scripture. Let's break down these verses, beginning with the general commentary, followed by the commentaries of A.R. Fawcett and Adam Clark. The woman is interpreted as a representing Israel, the people of God. Some interpretations also see her as Mary, mother of Jesus the Christ. And the labor pains symbolize struggle and suffering of Israel. The child represents the Messiah, Jesus Christ, and the labor pains symbolize the struggle and suffering of Israel leading up to his birth. The term great sign indicates that this vision is symbolic and carries significant meaning, connecting the earthly experiences of God's people with God's cosmic and eternal plan. Now let's hear from A.R. Fawcett on these same verses.
Thank you, Bill, and good morning. The woman represents the church, initially Israel and then the Gentile church. She is clothed with Christ, the Son of Righteousness, and has the moon, representing the Jewish dispensation, under her feet. For those unfamiliar with the term dispensation, it means a distinctive arrangement or period in history that forms the framework through which God relates to mankind. The vision describes the persecution of Israel and the elect church by the beast, which is an instrument of Satan. This celestial imagery emphasizes the divine and heavenly nature of the vision.
Thank you, Adam. Hearing both commentaries, you and Aaron provide rich insights into the symbolism of Revelation 12, verses 1 and 2. You seem to agree on the representation of the woman as the church and the significance of the celestial imagery. Aaron emphasizes the persecution and triumph of the church, while Adam, you focus on the church connection to Jesus and the Jewish dispensation. And if there is no further discussion verses 1 and 2, we will move on to verses 3 and 4 following. Let's look back to John as he writes Revelation chapter 12, verses 3 and 4.
Rev 12:3-4, KJV. Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. Verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Let's break this verse down as we did with verses 1-2 and add a general commentary. The great fiery red dragon is often interpreted as representing Satan or the devil. The 7 heads and 10 horns symbolize his power and authority. The dragon's tail draws a third of the stars of heaven and throws them to the earth, which is seen as a reference to the fall of the rebellious angels. The dragon standing before the woman, ready to devour her child, represents Satan's intent to destroy the Messiah, Jesus Christ, as soon as he was born.
Aaron, you always have awesome insights on the verses we study. Have you anything for us now?
Thanks, Bill. I agree the dragon represents Satan, who uses the beast as an instrument of persecution against Israel and the elected church. The 7 heads and 10 horns symbolize the completeness of his power and authority. The stars cast to the earth represent the fallen angels who followed Satan in his rebellion. The dragon's intent to devour the child signifies Satan's continuous efforts to thwart God's plan of salvation through Jesus Christ.
Thanks, Aaron. Next, let's hear from Adam Clark.
I agree, Aaron, that the great red dragon is a symbol of evil and that the name Satan means evil. However, it also symbolizes the heathen Roman Empire, which was under Satan's influence. The 7 heads and 10 horns represent the various forms of government and the power of the empire. The stars being cast to the earth symbolize the leaders and influential figures who were corrupted by Satan. The dragon standing before the woman, ready to devour her child, signifies the Roman Empire's attempts to destroy Jesus Christ and his followers.
Thank you, guys. Both of you provide valuable insights into symbolism of Revelation 12:3 through 4. You agree on the representation of the dragon as Satan, or evil, and the significance of the celestial imagery. However, while Aaron emphasizes the persecution of the church and the fallen angels, Adam, you seem to focus on the Roman Empire's role in opposing Christ and his followers. Did I get that right?
Let's continue by listening to John as he writes Revelation 12 verses 5 to 6 in NJK.
Verse 5. She bore a male child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God and his throne. Verse 6. Then the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
In verse 5 we see that she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. And in verse 6 the woman flees into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Hey, Aaron, quick question. Who are they?
Scripture states that God had prepared a place for her, so I feel comfortable assuming that God will send his angels to feed them.
Thanks, Aaron. Adam, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I do have something to add to Aaron's commentary. I agree with Aaron that the male child represents Jesus Christ, destined to rule all nations with a rod of iron. The child being caught up to God and his throne signifies Jesus' ascension and the divine protection over him. The woman fleeing into the wilderness symbolizes the church, or the true Jewish followers of Christ, finding refuge during times of persecution. The period of 1,260 days is interpreted as a time of tribulation and divine protection for the church.
Thank you both. You both are providing valuable insights into the symbolism of Revelation 12, 5 through 6. You seem to agree on the presentation of the male child as Jesus Christ and the significance of his ascension. The woman fleeing into the wilderness is seen as a church finding refuge during persecution, with a period of 1,260 days symbolizing a time of trial and divine care. In closing, just a thought. Could this place be what we know as Petra? Well, that's all for this forum. If you would like to explore more commentaries or delve into another verse, please join us at Fellowship Bible Church next Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Thank you, and until then, God bless.